What's up everyone? Today we're going to look at Unicorn Gundam, another one of the unlockable suits. Last time I said that Mahiru was the least common character I see. I think Unicorn is probably the most common, at least among the unlockable characters. Part of that might be because they're one of the only support units in the game. You know, a few other characters have support abilities, but Methus is kind of the only one that really feels like a dedicated support outside of Unicorn. So I think that's attracted a lot of people, and also they're just really good and fun to play. They're kind of simpler than Methus. Like, you don't really have to focus on healing people necessarily, you just kind of have to focus on being near them. And you only got two abilities, one more offensive, the funnels that I use right there, which is really good, especially against people up close. Although the aim can, sometimes I feel like it doesn't aim properly, because it's like an auto lock on thing, it doesn't just go where you're looking. And then the other one is just, it gives an armor buff to you and all nearby allies, which goes up, I think it's around 400 armor, which is really strong. It's got a fairly long cooldown, so you can't abuse it a ton, but it is so powerful if your team is grouped up. You know, like, Methus can really only focus on one person at a time, and there's no sort of overheal like in TF2, and there's no armor tied to any of Methus' abilities, so you kind of have to wait for someone to be hurt to really get any advantage out of that. So in that sense, Unicorn just, you like, before you can get in the fight, you're already giving your team, if you hit everyone, that's, you know, like close to 400 times 6, it's over 2,000 health. And you know, if they don't get shot, it's gonna go away, and they don't get all the armor immediately. It kind of ramps up slowly, but it's just such a crazy strong effect. And it you know, it works just on Unicorn themselves, so it actually makes them kind of hard to 1v1. If I see Unicorn and they pop that armor ability, I'm sweating a little bit, because I know it's not going to be an easy fight. A Methus, if I catch them alone, you know, unless they got a turret in a good spot or if they fly away, I'm usually pretty confident that I can win that fight. And you know, speaking of the fight part, your primary, this minigun is really strong too, especially if you can get the headshots. Also got a 50-shot clip, so you don't have to worry about running out to it. Oh, and here's the G maneuver. This one's strong. It's sometimes hard to use properly because you lock yourself in place every time you're shooting. So if people know you're doing it and they're not like directly in front of you or you're firing it off, you can kind of be a sitting duck. I think you can use your abilities while you're in the G maneuver. I think you can still use the heal at least, maybe not the funnels. So you're not completely defenseless or anything. But it can be strong offensively, especially if you've got them in a narrow corridor, like I had right there. They're coming out of those two spots, so it's pretty easy for me to focus them down. Definitely not a weak one. I'd say it's stronger than Methus's, just because Methus is really dependent on, you got to get it on the right teammates. It's kind of hard to use in the heat of the moment if you don't have someone nearby. And if they die, it just completely goes to waste. Yeah, wow, geez, fast round one. I didn't even get through all of my thoughts before we were done with that. But that is showing some of the power. We'll see if it's as good on defense. And here we go. Now, spoiler alert, it is good on defense. This is probably one of the best maps for it too, because there's not a whole lot of walls. I didn't even talk about it. Your passive is just that allies nearby you and in your line of sight just get a slow healing. It's nowhere near as fast as Methus's, but the fact they can hit everyone means it's still pretty strong. So, and you can see there right kind of to the left of my crosshairs, that number, that's how many people I'm currently healing. And you do it to be pretty close, so it's not too insane in that regard, but it also means you don't have to be looking directly at them. They can be behind you. It also, if your team is good, they'll know to come to you, and you don't really even have to pay attention. They'll just kind of hang near you to get their free heals. So definitely a strong ability. Not many characters in this game have passive. Actually, I'm trying to think, does anyone have a passive other than Unicorn? Guntank sort of does. I don't know if it's actually listed as a passive. Guntank has their fast repair on allies. Even that has a cooldown. This doesn't have any sort of cooldown. But what I was saying is about this map is that it's pretty easy to keep your allies in the same line of sight on defense here. So most of this time I'm healing 2 or more of my allies without having to chase after them too much. This team I'm playing with is also really good, and they know how to group up. Our Marsai got a hook. They have a Marsai as well. I think he got our Sazabi earlier. Jeez, that's scary. Almost going down there. The Battle of the Unicorns. That funnel is strong. I'm pretty sure it blocks bullets directly in front of it, and also has a knockback if it hits the enemy, so getting hit by it, even ignoring the damage, puts you in a tough spot. And right here, I was scared for my life. Somehow I got separated from my allies, and I have a ranged Zaku and a Pale Rider on me, but I don't know why they didn't chase me there. They might have been out of dashes. I think they could have got me. Look at that. Turn A getting the nice flip on the Exia. Don't have to worry about him. Yeah, I haven't really been in much trouble here. My team's been doing a good job, and I hop up there, notice it's a Marsai, try to get away. He does get the hook, but thankfully the environment saved me. I probably would have been okay either way because I had a teammate there to shoot him or block, but I'm doing okay. Doing my G maneuver, I haven't seen a really good spot to use it yet. I'm just kind of focusing on gunning people down and healing. And the gun is strong. Even at mid-range, it does a lot of damage. You'd be surprised how much damage Unicorn can put out. They're a support character, but they're not. That's not all they are. This Exia range Zaku barely gets away, and like I'm just hoping he stays near me. We got this double heal too, and I do use my G maneuver because I know they're coming up. I get hit by a Dom or something there. No, I don't have a Dom. And I hit the 3 of them there. I got so greedy. I went in again because I got the triple hit. I don't know. They all scattered really fast, and then unfortunately, Zaku from behind, and they came back. So. Probably got a little greedy. I was excited because I saw the people grouped up and a chance to hit him with that Magnum, but did result in my first death of the match. I think we still got a pretty good chance to hold here. If they group up with their Unicorn, it could be trouble. They've got a lot of flanking type characters on their team. They got 2 Zakus and an Exia. Oh, but everyone just went down to turn A Butterfly, which is a very strong G maneuver. And this melee Zaku's not been having the best of times. You may have noticed at the end of the offense round, I wasn't even caring about his him using his survivability to block damage. I was just shooting him anyways because I knew we had enough people focused on him that even if he got rage, he'd go down pretty quick. I think we're trying to make our way back that balcony area at the start of the map. They are flanking up there. Might not be able to get it back. Battle of the Unicorns once again. Got some headshots, I had to force him to back up. See that? I just screwed up that melee Zaku. He's trying to come in, knock him out. Oh, but he's still coming. And yep, our team's smart enough to know to ignore him, so we're not going to give him rage in that situation. Ooh, range Zaku missed right there. So, hey, that's 1 G maneuver down, and we're all still alive. And this is something I've kind of noticed with my Unicorn games. It's kind of been one-sided every time I've played. Either we get steamrolled or we do the steamrolling, but it's normally the steamrolling in our favor. But they did get 2 kills with the gun tank G maneuver. I got repaired, thankfully. Turn A did not. They could push off this, 1 down on each side. Exia with the G maneuver going. That's always a little scary. He charges right at me, he hits me with his melees, but thankfully I take him out with the teammates' help, and the respawning teammates got my back. And this is looking like lights out. They only got 3 people alive. Yep, that's it. Pretty dominant performance by our team. I think that kind of shows you the potential of Unicorn with a good team is really scary and really strong. There we go, even got the MVP. Like I said, the healing isn't all you can do. The damage is pretty strong as well. Yeah, hopefully that showed you the strengths of Unicorn Gundam. If you've got the unlock points, I would definitely recommend picking this character up, especially if you have any interest in playing a support type unit. And if you're interested in seeing more, you can catch me on my Twitch. I'll be streaming Gundam and other games, or you can stay tuned for more on this channel. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.